Hey, this is Jim. It is 10:51 in California on August the 27th. Please note that all discussions, analysis, and information presented for general informational and educational purposes only and should not be construed as financial or any other form of professional advice. So, boy, little Sean is up to it again. Little Weasley Sean. He wants attention. He's selling coffee mugs on his YouTube channel, so I'll help him try to maybe sell a coffee mug here. So this is the guy I'm talking about, the guy that continually keeps calling me a pussy, but does not want to meet me for our charity event to raise money for veterans. So that is the very definition of coward. But today we're going to talk about one of his other characteristics, which is just as bad. He is a pathological liar. So a couple posts here on X, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is I'm going to show you guys his lies compared to the reality of what the model just called in Mullen, and then ask you the simple question: why is this guy who's so concerned about AMC and laughing at people who have either lost money or are way down on a trade or investment in AMC? Why is he dances on that grave? Is he also now dancing on the Mullen grave? Does it have more to do with the fact that he's working for someone who is afraid that any of the heavily shorted stocks are going to move up, or was he hired by someone to try to discredit me and spread lies about me? So take your pick. But basically, he's saying I keep getting caught in lies, saying that Mullen was going to go up to 70 cents, and that I had no idea there was going to be a pullback, and that it just came back down in my face. And so even as a scam investor would have still lost you money. Now, again, you might recognize him more from one of these pictures. Let's see. So it's this dude right here. Wait, that's the wrong photo. This is a picture of him from like 30 years ago. Same hat, so that's why I was confused about the picture. There it is. So it's this dude. It's like, I think he's my age. He looks like he's my age. He's, bald and wrinkled. So I'm guessing he is, but I have no idea why he still wears the wooden hat or any of this other stuff. But it's this guy. It's this guy. And as you can see, I'm shaking in my boots. How could I ever go meet a guy like this? And no wonder he continually calls me a pussy. When you're this kind of a man, you can basically come at anybody you want to with reckless abandon, because nothing will ever happen in the make-believe world of the internet. Anyway, so that's that. Let's take a look at the reality. Okay, so here is the reality. And obviously, I don't share all the messages on Twitter publicly or with YouTube videos that I share with members. Now, I don't cover Mullen as a ticker symbol that is represents a individual service. So all of what you're reading here basically were just messages posted to my global pro members, meaning people who belong to the complete service, gold, silver, crude oil, the bonds, S&P, AMC, GME, BB, everything. So every now and then, if I see a setup that looks really, really compelling, I'll share it with people, and then they can do with it whatever they want. I have no idea whether people were long this stock, short this stock, whether they used any of this information that I post about my model to do anything on their side. I have no clue. But here's the reality. So on 8/21. I posted the first message here, and that the stock had moved up sharply, gapped up. And I said, Mal's a buyer of pullbacks and forecasting strength into tomorrow, which is 8/22, and possibly 8/28 as well. That'll be kind of interesting because today is 8/27, so we get a chance in real time to see if both of these zones of strength hit. Obviously, 8/22 hit in a huge way right here, but we'll see if today's buy level turns out to provide another great scalp to the upside with strength into 828, 829, something like that. So that's what I said first. Then I sent this message out, and this FTDO, that just means from the desk of. It's a messaging tool that posts on the right-hand margin of the member site, and also if people want to sign up, click a little box to activate email messaging. It sends it to their email as well. So Mullen also triggering a buy signal and predicting a zone of strength ahead. This one is always a trade, not investment, until and unless it sees stability after moving higher into one of my zones of strength. Meaning, this was moving down into an all-time low right here. Okay, so unless and until the stock tracks, number one, up in, moving higher into a zone of strength and starts hitting some of my targets and acting the way a stock acts when it's tracking my model, meaning hitting upside, hitting retest levels, pulling back to vibration levels, moving through the ABCDE vibration sequence, triggering buys, sells, whatever, until it starts to do that and hits upside targets that form an uptrend and generate new zones of strength into future dates. Then I just call it a trade. But the nice thing about this approach, in my mind at least, is what starts out as a trade sometimes can turn into an investment because you catch a nice turning point low. You can trim down to pull back all of your original investment capital, and you have an absolute free position that you can leave in place and bet on a bigger picture turnaround story or whatever. Obviously, the fundamentals fall in place after the turning point, typically. So anyway, that's what we said there. Then, toward the end of the day, on the 21st, I said Mullen vibration sequence is complete at 0.2575, and the zone of strength tomorrow should be able to see a bull cross wilt candle. That just means a tall green candle that the trading activity within the candle moves through the vibration level and then closes at the upper end of the range. A little pump in volume is even better, but it's not necessarily needed. A lot of these buy triggers, you can get involved on this vibration sequence technique where people who are only buying based on volume triggers are left behind. So this is what I prefer to do. Anyway, and spike price back up through today's high, if tracking again. Well, today's high, that was posted on 821, so it would have been that level right there. And sure enough, here's 822. Price moves through that high, tracks the model beautifully. Here's the exact price bar where the wilt candle buy signal was triggered. It was the morning of the 22nd. This is West Coast time, PST. Closing bar at 750 and 755. These are 5-minute price bars. So that's your buy signal right there. The stock moved higher, moved up to 28 cents, pulled back to vibration again, but did not stop this position out per the rules. The rules say that once the vibration sequence is complete and you get that buy candle, that your stop is placed below the lowest low of the vibration sequence. So in this case, that would have been 0.243. So anyway, phenomenal risk reward on these setups when you have a tight trading range up above and below vibration during the vibration sequence, right? Because here's your buy that you've triggered right here, and your sell stop's literally right there. So imagine being able to catch 100% plus move while risking that tiny amount of capital. So that's why I love these setups, especially, like I said, on a tight trading range, swinging above and below the vibration sequence. So then what happens here is on the morning of the 22nd, I'm saying Mullen 0.2575 wilt candle worked, and it looks to me like this one will finally see a big move over the coming sessions. Plural. Well, there you go. That was Friday. This was Monday. That's a big move on a percentage basis. 100% in 24, 48 hours, that's a big move. So then here's where Sean gets it completely wrong, and he's lying, obviously. But here's where he gets it completely wrong because he knows nothing about service, about vibration levels, about any part of the model that I spent decades building. something he's obviously never done, and I don't think he has the capability to do. So again, from the desk of Mullen more than doubled off the BAM vibration level entry at 0.2575 and is now correcting. Looks to me like downside retest at 0.3420 is likely prior to the upside retest at 0.70 cents. But the stock remains very bullish per my work. So this is why some people I know exited the stock at 100% plus gain, and then bought it back today into this zone of weakness and down into either that retest level or the full 76% retracement level. The retest level was basically generated right there, as you can see, and the 76% retracement is just something that I've noticed for decades now, especially prevalent with penny stocks. But if you just take a fib tool and you start at this point of origin low here on the 19th of August, and then you move up into the high, and then you look at the tool, this is that 76%. You can see right here, 76.4% level. It's 0.31. And so that's just a really, really typical counter trend retracement during two scenarios. One is, even if this is going to be a high that sticks prior to a lower low, you'll typically see a 76% retracement, then a 76% retracement of this leg down. So even if this thing's going to death spiral again, what you'll typically get, let's say this is roughly the low today. I mean, it could go lower, but wherever the low of the day is before it turns, you're looking for a move back up of 76%, which carries you up to, high 49 cents to 50 cent level. So again, even if a move like this is just a wash sale, and the shorts are going to regain control and drive it back below the all-time low, you will typically get, after the 76% retracement down, a 76 up prior to the new low. Based on the BAM model, I don't think that this stock will flush out again to a new low. I think it's going to form a low today, and that we will see a move back up to this hidden retest level at 0.498, either tomorrow or the next day, the 28th or the 29th, I would say. Now, what they can do is they can slow the algorithm down so that this projected zone of strength on the 28th slash 29th shifts out to the 29th slash 30th. But in any event, this is the bogey that we'll be focused on. And per the rules of my model, the BAM model wants to re-enter the trade after taking that beautiful profit. So what happens here is it more than doubled. It allowed us to take profits, not even selling half of the position because it more than doubled. And so half of the position remains in place, and all of the original capital was reclaimed. Now it's up to me, following the model, whether or not I want to either redeploy that original capital or a portion of it, and then try to repeat the whole trade to the upside once again. So that's what that looks like. You also see this hidden retest at 70 cents, and this timing window right here, it's a fairly long timing window, obviously, but depending on how fast or slow they run their algorithm will tell me when we have a shot at that 70 cent hidden retest level. I'm confident that will happen. And then I'm confident that the stock will probably see even higher levels. But if and when the retest of 70 cents takes place, I'll have to take a look at what all the new data looks like and see if these guys have been able to build sort of a concrete ceiling over price, so that 70 cents or slightly higher is really all we're going to see here in this particular window. But I won't know that till the stock starts trading again. If you guys want a really quick way to cheat and figure out if an algorithm's running faster or slower than it typically does, pull up like a 25 tick chart, go back in time to a couple periods. Go back to a session that was fairly active, like a newsy period where the stock was trading decent volume and either up or down, and take a look at sort of a period during the first 2 hours of trading, or a period in the last 2 hours, and a period in the middle, and take a look at how long it takes typically for a 25 tick bar to build. If they're running a bunch of high frequency trading algorithms, you're going to see, you could see 10, 20, 25 tick bars built in a row in a split second. But if they're trading really slow and they're dark pooling a bunch of round lots, you might see it take a full minute to build one 25 tick bar. But what you want to do is you want to try to compare apples to apples as far as the sort of the emotional backdrop behind the session. So again, if you want to judge how much they're speeding up or slowing down the algorithm this week, you go back to another period where the stock saw sort of a move to the upside and then started to pull back and try to pin like it is right now. So again, the easy trick for these guys is to strip the round lot trading from printing in the data window. And the way they do that is they just simply take a 100 share trade and break it into two trays that are sub 100 shares, so sub round lot, turn it into two odd lots, and just disappear it from printing in the data window or printing on the charts. And so that's an easy way to slow down the perceived trading activity, right? Because if something's not printing to the tick and not printing up the food chain to the 15 second, 30 second, 1 minute price bar, it gives you the appearance, the illusion of things slowing down, when in reality, there's 50 shares and 50 shares, or 80 shares and 20 shares being executed that should have been a 100 share print that was visible on the chart and moving the needle, but it just doesn't. It's one of the payment for order flow tricks. That's the reason these guys fight so hard to not let us talk about the reality. So this guy, you have to wonder if he started off as a big AMC basher, what does he care about Mullen? Why does he have this big hard on for Mullen? And also, where does a guy like this get off on trying to challenge anybody on the internet, and especially somebody who could just explode the beak and feed the chicklets? But it's what they do because they know, or they think, nothing will ever happen. But again, this is the guy. So immature, these comments, this post this guy has made. I mean, how could you have a family name that means anything to you and say the things that this guy says on Twitter? I mean, man, there are women around on the platform, little Sean. So why don't you close your filthy trap and go do something else with your time? Oh boy. I don't know, man. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. If you guys are involved in Mullen, good luck. I am fairly confident that we are going to see a move right back up to 0.498, either into the 28th or the 29th. And I'll update, and we'll see what happens. But so far, beautiful tracking of the model, and I'll monitor this thing. Good luck.